Hey y'all, welcome to At the Table in SFC, and I'm your host, Mr. Moore. I got a few topics I want to talk about. I think these topics are important today. I got some schedule for the NFL games coming up on Sunday, and I got some topics that's hot right now. A lot of people was talking about these topics. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, or when I start talking about these topics, because I'm not finna really mention no names, or I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. All I want to do is just speak on the truth. So the first topic we're gonna get in today. This is a topic that I hate. AI phone job interviews, artificial intelligence phone interviews. So now when you go through a phone interview, even to get to maybe the real interview, it's an AI asking you these questions, and it's not just your name, it's not just how you get into work, it's really like they want you to give descriptions of the job. You might give 2 or 3 when AI got like 15. And after you give your 3 or 4 or 5 descriptions, they got an extra 10. I don't know what that's about. And there's no emotion in the phone call. They can't really hear your voice. They can hear your voice, but on their end, there's no emotion. They can't say, well, I understand you, or you can't talk about what you've been going through. If you've been laid off for 6 months, say you've been laid off for 6 months, and you're really trying to get that job. No, it's just straight bottom line questions. And it's weird to me because it usually be people, calling you, asking you these questions, and they can hear it in your voice how sincere you are, so then they can bring you into the interview and say, okay, they can schedule it for you. But now it's not even that. It's just a robot talking to you. And depending on if you did the application online, or you got to put in your nationality, your race, you got to put in all this information, and AI can base that phone call off who you are, your nationality, and I don't feel that that's right, because you can lean AI towards a certain race, and it shouldn't be like that at all. Like if you got an accent, or it just don't make no sense to me. They taking jobs away from regular people who's supposed to be doing these interviews, right? That's supposed to be a regular person that can feel your pain, or feel like, oh, you've been out of job for this long. Okay, this person might be serious, or this person might, you can, and when you give an interview, a person on the other end of the line can feel that, like, okay, this person might be hungry, or this person might not be hungry. AI can't feel none of that. And I'm saying, I'm one of the ones that actually went through that. And I don't really like the way AI was talking to me. I really don't. And especially the way they had the AI in a woman's voice. I don't know if men like to hear women's voice. I don't know where they even get that from. If men like to hear women's voice more, they did a census on that. I don't know. But that should be illegal. And I could just imagine all the companies, the smaller companies that don't got AI, and they got regular people interviewing, but then the bigger companies, the major companies that people was really trying to get into, now you got to talk to this AI robot. There's ways around it. If you got to give the description of a job, you could have it right there in your face. If you're going for safety project manager, on a construction site or at the Hyatt Corporation or any corporation. You can have the descriptions right there and you can, label them down. I mean, that's a way around it. But you can have other things. But I just don't feel that we should be talking to robots when it's coming to getting a job. I really don't. And I don't even know what laws that we signed to say, oh yeah, I'll take a AI interview. I didn't sign nothing. So I don't know why I should be subjected to these type of job interviews from AI bots. I just don't feel it's right. And if let me know, comment down, like, subscribe. Let me know your comments on how you feel about, or if you've been through an AI job interview, because I have, and I don't like it. All right, we're gonna move on to our next topic. I'm gonna talk about debate, y'all. A lot of people around the country is kind of mad about what happened in Utah. A lot of people, because now it's stirring up things that we already knew anyway. Hatred, racism. It ain't even black versus white now. It's, I don't like you because you this. I don't like you because you that. They talking about gays. They talking about transgenders. They talking about the kids. Look, I think debate should not be about hate. You shouldn't be debating, asking a person. We should agree to disagree on hatred. Hatred shouldn't even be in the conversation, period. Because who voting for hate? And if you voting for hate, you with hatred. And we can see it in a lot of people that are racist, and they hide. Now it's starting to come out. They starting to pull it. This is pulling them out. What happened in Utah on September what, 9th, 10th? September 10th, 9th, 10th. This is starting to bring the racism out even more, and people are starting to show their face. And what's right is what's right, and what's wrong is what's wrong. You can't go around spreading hate. You can't say they shouldn't have this, because you got it. Why you want to say they can't have this? Look, we all going through the same thing. Family members get cancer, family members die, children come out one arm, one leg. We all go, I don't care what nationality, I don't care where you live at in the world. It's the same thing. And I want to know, why do we kill each other? We can't, look, I can understand why animals in the Amazon and all the forests and everything in the jungles, they kill each other, but they eat each other. We don't eat each other, we just kill each other. For what? See, when a human kill another human, that's hate. That's straight up hate. Even if you feel in some type of way, you shouldn't kill no human. You should be able to walk away from that situation, unless you can't, like, bar none. But you shouldn't be hating on that individual and kill them. And it's hatred in all forms of fashion, just not killing. Somebody might just don't like you because you got an upper hand on them, and that's where the hatred come in. People think you got an upper hand on them because they too lazy to go get what you achieving. And it's enough achievement out here for everybody. But you can't be spreading hate and expect somebody to agree with you. No. Look, if I'm spreading negativity and you positive in your life, you don't want to be around me. You don't even agree with nothing I'm talking about if I'm being negative all the time. Negative all the time. You trying to be positive. You trying to keep doing what you doing. You don't want to spread. Look, I want to be happy. You want to be negative and mad all the time. I'm not hanging around you. And I don't agree with nothing you saying. See, debate. Why you want to debate about something that's negative and you know it is? So what if this person want to choose to be this way? But as long as they doing themselves and they ain't hurt nobody and they not spreading they not putting the fuel on the fire to kill, take away, to stagnate a human being's life, I can care less about what they doing, because to me that's positive. That's being yourself. You ain't got to get in nobody else's lane and stagnate what they trying to do and spread stagnation across the world. And then people is investing in this type of stuff, this negativity. How could you invest in negativity? That's just not, look, even boxing is positive. That's a sport. That's macho-y macho. But some people say it's negative because it's fighting. But that's legal fighting, right? Legal fighting. That's not street fighting. That's legal. They agreed upon the contract. They fight. That's substantial. That's legal. We don't like to see people fighting on the streets for whatever reason. Most of the times it's drugs or they alcohol or they disrespecting. But when somebody even disrespecting, you can still get away from that as long as they ain't putting their hands on you. And you never as an individual really get rid of evil. But we all can agree on what is right. And I don't think nobody would vote for hate. I mean, if it was on the ballot and it said everything we do is hatred, ain't nobody gonna mark yes. Well, unless you would hatred, then show yourself. Then we can see. But like we seeing right now in this administration, I'm not saying it's, I really don't care about the government because the government really can't do nothing for me. But everybody got a little hatred in their heart. I mean, not everybody. I don't, and a lot of other people don't, because I want to help. It's 2025, man. It ain't 1901, 1902. We don't own. Look, stop hating against us, because we the solution. We ain't the problem. I mean, it's a few of everybody that's the problem. And everybody want to point out my people being the problem. Look, man, check this out. These people can go to these stores. These people can shoot each other. My people can shoot each other. They could go to these stores, rob banks or whatever. But it's other races doing way more crimes. We at the micro. They at the macro. They at the top doing top crimes. You feel like oh, and then we do the lesser crimes and we go to the hardest jails. They do the most horrendous crimes, taking lives, taking people, stealing money from the older people, taking insurance plans, knocking stuff down. People get their house burned down. They can't get their insurance. These is, you know what I mean? Upper echelon. And they get to go to the feds. Keep the door open. They can go to the yard whenever they want, man. I don't know, man. Look, we need to pull it together, man. This country need to pull it together. And why do we care about what they doing over there in other countries when our country is tore up from the floor? I mean, everybody don't even care, because if you was raised in the United States, you was taught to obey. You go to class, you sit down. You was trained, to get a job, really. And the people that was outspoken and following they ideas and they dreams and they leading right now. But other people, 98%, man, is like still gotta go to work and still gotta do this. And some people just don't care. Well, most people just don't care, man. They like, man, I got kids. I'm just going to work, man. I heard this one cat. I say, man, we African Americans. He say, nah, we Americans. Hold on. Americans, they don't treat you like Americans. They treat you as a second-class citizen if you my color. Everybody. You feel me? They see this skin color. Oh, he this. Oh, he that. Oh, he this. And to me, quite frankly, I'm tired of it because we never was that or this. People become who they are because they broke, they poor. Nobody listening to them. Nobody want to help them. So then they lash out, and sometimes they turn into monsters. But out of 400,000 black people in the United States or in California, only 10,000 is like that. So you got 390,000 good people that love to go to work, love what they do, love to be positive, helping positive people become more positive, teaching the masses, teaching the kids. But they never put that up on, they barely put that up. They barely talk about that, but they always talking about, in they debates, how it was affirmative action, how it was this, how it was that. Come on, man. We never needed affirmative action either. They know who the real people is. We more coordinated, we smarter. Our kids graduate college at 17, man. They 16 degrees. And without daddy's money, without the family money. You got a little 16-year-old right now with 15 degrees from the hardest schools in America. In America. But we don't put them stories up. We got a guy right now. He making diesel fuel out of plastics. Something that we trying to get rid of in the world. He making diesel fuel. They invested in him right now. Diesel fuel is finna start being made out of plastic. And he is us, see? They ain't told y'all nothing about that. So I'm tired of these debates, man. These debates on what's wrong and what's right. The debate should be, how can we get done more? Right. And I'm gonna tell you one debate I got. Stop selling guns on the internet. Make it go back to the old ways where you had to go into the shop and buy a gun. Cancel the internet gun sales today. They're making guns out of plastic now on the internet. Man, if y'all don't stop, look, y'all need to stop the BS. Because what do we need to have a debate for? Should stuff be wrong or should stuff be right? Because every debate is about wrong or right. Every person is either wrong or they right. And we can be the judges of that, right? No, we shouldn't have to. Y'all the government, y'all supposed to be smart. This guy is immorally wrong. This guy is morally right. This guy need to be running for whatever position. Period. Point blank range, man. That's how it should be. We shouldn't have to be fighting or debating about what's right and what's wrong. We all want what's right, man. Free health care, free schooling, top-notch schooling too, to teach the kids where the future is going. You can go to these public schools right now, man. These kids, look, the food is nasty. I don't know. Look, the food is gross. They not getting the right studies to go into the next level. When you come out of high school and college, you should be learning how to program. You should know math and science because that's the bottom line. then you should know how to do a little home economics. You should know how to do home economics, and you should know how to do PE. You should know how to work out, keep yourself healthy, the diet. That's the only things we need to really be teaching in business. You know, we teaching all this other stuff. Oh, he came over here, he conquered this, he did that. Man, ain't nobody conquered nothing. We still trying to figure it out. There's cancer in the air from Hiroshima, nuclear waste, PFAs. We still figuring it out. Still got gasoline cars in the ozone tearing up the ozone. We still figuring it out. And that schooling is garbage. The public school system is trash. Now they didn't raise Catholic school scholarships, private school scholarships up to like 30,000. My cousin was trying to get my little cousin in school, my goddaughter. He take her up to the school in San Francisco to see how much it was. 30,000 for private school. Who got that money? That's only for rich people. My cousin is middle class. He make 120, 130, but that's for rich people, man. Who gonna spend 30,000? Millionaires. You gotta be a millionaire just for your kid to get the proper schooling. And I doubt if they getting the proper schooling, because all that's gonna do is look good on their resume to go to a nice college or whatever, and we don't even know how they gonna pan out. Because I don't think it's gonna make them smarter if they don't teach about the studies I was just preaching on. You gotta know how to code, AI, all this stuff is out right now, man. All this stuff is out, man. I bought some translation glasses. They translate all 134 languages. Glasses that translate all the languages. And then I got the earbuds too. I say, wow, look at the technology we got today. And that these kids finna be programming the robots and stuff. You know, Total Recall 2 showed you that back in the day. We finna be programming robots. And I think I'm watching this series called The Blind Spot, man. The FBI is showing all the secrets and the lies that America has been telling us for I don't know how long, man. Because everybody focused on the black man when you should be focused on everybody else that's here instead of us. You need to be helping us to help y'all focus on everybody else. Instead, y'all want to shoot us in the back, shoot us in the head. You want to kill our kids. You know, a Latino guy was on the freeway the other day, y'all. And he had some scissors in his hand, some scissors that you cut paper with or shoestrings. He is feet away from the police. Feet. They shoot him in the chest. They shoot him with bullets. Where's the beanbag or where's the taser? Calm down, my man. Boom. But they shot him in the chest. A chest shot at that. For some scissors on the freeway. Who is he gonna hurt on the freeway? Gonna stab a car door? Oh man, this world is crazy. Latino guy, you know, a Latin guy, and hey, there's no debate about wrong and right. It only should be right. Like, I don't even know why they make us go to the poll booth and vote, because we can see who wrong and who right. You know, I'm not saying nobody should be in office that's in office right now. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, when you got that like that, all this stuff just like gremlins. You pour some water on a gremlin, they multiply. Look, it was the bad gremlins. Remember the bad gremlins you poured on the but then remember it was the good gremlin, the brown one. You pour it on him, good gremlins. You know? Well, now you pour it on him, it was bad gremlins too. You had to keep him whole. You couldn't pour no water on him neither, because then that'd make the bad gremlins. You see what I'm saying? You can't infest or pour water on a good gremlin, because what came out of him was the bad gremlins that wanted to kill him and us. So you had to keep him pure. No water. He could eat chicken. He could eat, but you couldn't pour no water on him. You know, I guess the water was contamination. You couldn't contaminate the brown gremlin, you know, or he'd grow the little green gremlins. And that's what's going on today. They pouring water on people, and they making gremlins, and that's bad, because they putting money behind the wrong thing. And when you put money behind a debate, you know it can get televised, social media, boom. And once you start spreading that, you know, you sprinkling with that money, that water, now he making bad gremlins, because his rhetoric out of his mouth is bad. So now people is agreeing with that. They turn into gremlins, and they say, "Amen, amen." Hey, it's just crazy, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. So once again, I said debate shouldn't be about hate, what's wrong and what's right. Debate should always be about how we can do right even better. You know, like, okay, cars is good, right? But how can we make cars better so we won't tear up the ozone? Electric cars. See, that's a debate. That started as a debate. Took a minute for the electric car to come out, but they said, hey, they seen the study. Let's put the electric cars out. Now that's a good debate. Not if I should take, hate this other group of people. Groups, not just one group, groups of people. We shouldn't do that, because we all people. No matter if we live across the globe or right here in the United States, we shouldn't be doing that. Okay, I'm going to move on, man. This is more positive stuff. We're going to talk about the NFL schedule for Sunday. Game starting at 10 a.m. Bengals versus the Vikings. We all know Burrow is out 3 months. Whoa. So now, I mean, they got 2 wide receivers over there, but they gotta have a quarterback that can throw them the ball. And I don't know about this guy. They play the Vikings. Bengals versus the Vikings. Now the Vikings got McCarthy over there with Justin Jefferson. McCarthy ain't looking too good. He 1-1. He coming in 1-1. Bengals coming in 2-0. They ain't started 2-0 in a long time, but starting 2-0 cost them their quarterback 3 months. That's what, 1, 2, 3. He ain't coming back to the 15th game, 14th, 15th game. He only got turf toe, so maybe he could come back a little faster. But he had surgery, and it's gonna take at least. So they gotta win 9 games. So they're third there, or 27% there with 2. But I don't know. It's gonna be a tough game tomorrow. I'm gonna jump on Prize Picks, and I'm gonna see what's the odds, and I'm gonna see the player performance stats, and I'm gonna see what they talking about. But that's gonna be a close game right there. It's gonna be a low scoring game, 14-13 or something like that. 1 point. Now I'm gonna name all the 10 o'clock games, and then I'm gonna go on to the 105 games and the 125 games and the 520 games. Next game that's at 10 o'clock is the Texans versus the Jaguars. Oh no. Texans coming in 0-2, Jags coming in at 1-1. Jags got a little bit more talent than, well, not really. They don't got more talent, but they got a quarterback. They both got a wide receiver. So this should be a close game too, because the Texans got to go on the road and play the Jags. You know, C.J. Stroud, he almost won the game last week, but I don't know. He just didn't, pan out Texans versus the Jaguars, 10 o'clock. Colts versus the Titans. Colts gonna win this game. Titans got a rookie. I think the Titans is rebuilding. Titans is rebuilding. They got the rookie. Colts got Daniel Jones. And I feel that Daniel Jones is a better quarterback than the rookie they got over there for the Tennessee Titans. So I feel that they gonna do a little bit more. So I'll take the Colts in that game. Raiders versus the Commanders. Now, this is going to be an interesting game because the Commanders quarterback used to play for the Raiders in Mariota. But the Raiders got Geno Smith. But the Raiders is going on the road for the Commanders. The Commanders quarterback is hurt. Jaden Daniels, he hurt. So, I don't know. I feel that the Raiders should go on the road and win this. They should come down and win this. Hold on, y'all. Had to text somebody right here. Yeah, Raiders versus Commanders. That's also at 10 o'clock. Geno Smith versus Marcus Mariota. Mariota ain't played in a long time, so I want to see how he come out. He got legs. Geno Smith also got legs. Mariota can throw the ball a little bit. He might shock somebody. He got some weapons. He got Deebo Samuel, and he got the wide receiver over there. Pretty decent. Raiders got running back, wide receiver, quarterback. So it's a pretty even game. I say under 20. I say the game under 20. 17-14, something like that. Next game, 10 o'clock, Atlanta Falcons versus the Carolina Panthers. I got the Falcons on this one. The Carolina Panthers just look trash, man. I mean, they don't got nothing. Nada. I don't think they can. They might go 1-16 this year. That's how phony they is. Whoever get beat by the Panthers should be embarrassed. But they gonna get one. They gonna catch somebody slipping because they gonna be 0-10, and somebody gonna think they gonna be a easy walkover, and they might get 1 or 2 wins. Pittsburgh Steelers versus the New England Patriots, baby, 10 o'clock. This gonna be an interesting game. You got Drake May versus Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers need to win this one, period. You can't go in there and lose to the Patriots, especially after the Raiders beat the Patriots week 1. You got to go in there, man. You got to put up 30, Aaron Rodgers, A-Rod. And that defense for the Steelers, man, they got to step it up, man. They got to step it up, period. Step your game up, defense. It just can't be Aaron Rodgers, man. Aaron Rodgers, I think, last week had 200 and some yards. They only had 246 yards total. Come on, man. Y'all need to quit depending on Aaron Rodgers too tough. He 41. Look, y'all got to go to work against the Patriots because the Patriots is young and they fast. Because they one of them catch fire teams like the Atlanta Falcons. If they catch fire, they going to stay on fire to the end of the game. You got to knock the fire out of these dudes quick and early. 10 o'clock, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the New England Patriots. You got the Green Bay Packers versus the Browns, y'all. Now, Packers got to go on the road to Cleveland. Cleveland been struggling. They 0-2. Packers 2-0. Everybody calling them a powerhouse, but to me, I think the Browns with the defense they got, because Cincinnati only beat them by 1 point in week 1. So that means they shut down Higgins and Jamar Chase, them wide receivers. And that's what Green Bay depend on. They wide receivers. But they got a good running back over there too, Jones. They got Jones over there. but they depend on their wide receivers a lot, and they got good pass coverage. So this is going to be an interesting game. It either can go early, it can either get blew out early, because if they let the Browns stick around, I think the Browns might do something to them, because everybody's sleeping on the Browns, and the Browns got good defense. Next game, you got the Jets versus the Buccaneers. Uh-oh. Your boy is out. He hurt. Concussion. And then the boy from the Buccaneers, Mayfield. Ooh. Baker. 1-2, Baker. Hey, this boy catching fire. Both last game, they 2-0. Jets 0-2. So, Jets gonna be hungry. They got the veteran at quarterback coming in for the Jets to fill in for the injured quarterback. But Baker Mayfield is something else right now. The boy is playing top 6, 7 quarterback right now. And he behind some greats, man. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, the boy up there at the Chargers, Justin Herbert. He playing behind some, but he right in there though. He right in the mix. You know, Patrick Mahomes ain't playing good right now. It's just Baker Mayfield and them couple boys, man. They doing their thing, man. You know, I got the Buccaneers in this one. Buccaneers should score high on this one because they at home. You know, Miami. They gonna be in Tampa Bay, so that's Florida. So they should be killing. I expect them to win by at least a touchdown and a half, you know, against the Jets. Because the Jets really ain't, I don't think so. Jets ain't got, they ain't worked it. The boy that got injured, concussed, the quarterback, he was kind of everything. Next, you got the Denver Broncos versus the Chargers. Now, the Denver Broncos is supposed to have one of the nicest defenses. And they got the quarterback, Bo Nix. Bo Nix kind of stepped it up last week. He did a hell of a job. Step his pass yards up. They still lost 29-28 to the Colts. The Colts looking good, man. Them boys is big up there, too. They tall. They real tall. But the Chargers, man, something that Jim Harbaugh is doing right now. The Chargers, 2-0. Justin Herbert, he's throwing darts. Man, I can easily put him behind Josh Allen right now for MVP of the season, 1 and 2. It's early. It's only 2 games. But Justin Herbert, man, I watched him Thursday night against Kansas City. No, Friday night, first game of the season. And he was throwing darts. I say, ooh, he looked good. You know? Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers on this one. I don't think the Broncos got enough defense for Justin Herbert and what they do. And plus, the Chargers got defense too as well. I say they win by a touchdown. Chargers by a touchdown. Touchdown. They got that boy Johnston over there catching everything. Touchdown. That's the end of the 10 o'clock games, the 10 a.m. games. Now, matter of fact, my bad, Broncos versus the Chargers is at 105. Excuse me. 105 because it's in L.A. It's in L.A., so 105. You know, people that play in the West play at 105. You know, L.A. 105. Then you got another 105 p.m. game, the New Orleans Saints versus Seattle Seahawks. Now the Seahawks just blasted the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers throwing picks. Then the boy let a kick go off his back that touched him, and they recovered it for a touchdown. I never seen that before in my life. And the Saints, all they got is one player on defense. Rattler. He all right. He almost beat us. He had a hell of a game against the 49ers, man, but I don't see him doing that against the Seahawks, man. The Seahawks be coming at you, and they be hitting hard. Them some big boys over there. They hitting hard. They go to 125 games, though. You got the Cowboys versus the Bears. No defense whatsoever on either side. So this game gonna be 40-40. They might put up an 80 burger. The over and under is over and under 80. I don't know, man. I ain't seen the over and under yet, but it's finna be 35 to 35, 30 to 35, 30 to 40. It's gonna be up there. I got Cowboys winning though, by at least a touchdown and a half. Dak Prescott ain't to be played with, man. He catching his rhythm every year. He killing. Dak Prescott is up there 1, 2, 3, 2. He playing a hell of a game, man. Playing a hell of a game against the Giants last week. Anybody else let Russell Wilson throw for 350, they lose the game. But Dak was right there with him, and he had 350. So I know Dak Prescott gonna show out. And then another 125 game. Ooh, Cardinals versus the 49ers. My squad. My squad, baby. Gang. Hey, it's time to get in there. Because every year, for some reason, we split the series with the Arizona Cardinals. We go 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. I don't think we beat these dudes 2 times in the year since our Super Bowl year. 2-3 years ago, right? 2 years ago. I think that's the only time in a long time we swept the series, man, with these cats, man, you know? I think, but look, we got Mac Jones starting. You know, he looked pretty good against the Saints, but that's the Saints though, you know? Now they got a quarterback over there that can run the ball. Then you got Connor over there, the running back that can run the ball. Fred Warner, that's your man. I said that on the last podcast. Fred Warner, that is your man, bro. That's your man. So stick with him. No interceptions. I don't expect Mac Jones to be flawless. But if we can hold the turnovers down, if we can keep them turnovers down, Mac Jones, no interceptions, man. Hold on to the ball, throw it out. No fumbles neither. Please, no fumbles. No fumbles. Jennings is questionable. His shoulder and I think his leg hurt, but I think he was questionable last week, and he got a 40-yard bomb, you know, ran it in from 40. So he looked good. So we look. We got Pearsall. You know, we don't got Kittle. Kittle be back next week, and they saying Brock Purdy been practicing, so that's a good sign. He also had turf toe with a shoulder injury, but they said he practiced a couple times this week. So that's looking good. That's looking real good. But we don't need to rush him back against this first game against Arizona because we got them again, I think, in like a few more weeks, you know. Right after we play the Rams, a couple games after that, we got them again. So we can rest Brock Purdy right now. And then the late game. The late game is the Chiefs versus the Giants. Now, look, this is a big game because the Chiefs is 0-2, the Giants is 0-2. Now, the media is saying, some media gurus are saying, if Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes lose to the Giants, they not making it to the playoffs. Even though they got a couple hurt people, Worthy and Rice is out for a 6-game suspension. He coming back in 4 more games. I feel that they should win, me personally. Because the Giants, they got some ballers, though. Neighbors and Russell Wilson and the tight end. And they got a little defense, too. They got a little edge rusher, a little linebacker edge rusher. He pretty good, too, rookie. But the Chiefs should win. But if they do come back on Monday and they 0-3, this ball game, man, they going to have to win like 9 games in a row. They're going to have to win like 9 games in a row, man. 9 games in a row. And I don't know which NFL team can do that. Well, at least they're going to have to win 7. They can lose 1 and win the next 2. Because the AFC is stacked. Baltimore, Buffalo, Raiders. You know what I'm saying? They stacked. So they're going to have to hold off until Worthy and Rice get back. I see Rice. They're gonna have to hold the fort down for them 2 dudes, man. Because if they go 0-3, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna really be tough, and they schedule is it's not looking favorable. It's not looking favorable at all. Monday night we got the Lions versus the Ravens, baby. Now that's gonna be a good game. That's gonna be a good game, y'all. Lions versus the Ravens. Ooh, I'm definitely playing Prize Picks for that one, cause that's gonna be over and under. I say 50. Both of them teams scoring 25 plus. I know for sure. I know they going in. It's gonna be at least 4 to 5 touchdowns scored on each side. Each side. And you know, the game of the week to me though is the Rams versus the Eagles. Because the Rams went into Philly last year in the playoffs and lost. Now the Rams is going to the Eagles this week again at 10 a.m. on the east side, and they playing early. The Rams is a West Coast team, so they usually home games is 105, 125, or Monday night. You know, so they playing early, and the Eagles used to playing early. Now Jalen Hurts, he's a bad man, and the Rams ain't got no secondary. And A.J. Brown and Smith, they've been crying. They ain't been getting the ball, baby. So this is one of them games where you can let it air out. So I'm gonna see, because Hurts always adapt to the environment. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks I know that just adapts to his environment. If he need to run the ball, these cats ain't getting open. He can run the ball, get you 2 touchdowns. If he need to throw the ball, he can get you 2 or 3 in the air. If the game, you know, needs it. He's the best adaptable. Him and Tom Brady, to me, is like the best adaptable, because they don't just do what needs to what the gameplay says. You know, they do what the game gives them, and then they capitalize. Man, this is one of them two of the smartest quarterbacks. Well, Steve Young was hella smart too. Steve Young for the 49ers, he was super smart. You know, he knew when to use his legs. He knew when to throw. He knew when to call an option to hand the ball off when it was a ROP. So, oh yeah, that's gonna be a good game. Rams versus Eagles, 10 a.m. It's gonna be in Philly, y'all. All right, we're gonna move on to the next subject. I'm gonna move on to a little bit of online criticism. Now, this is my guy right here, man, Steph Curry, man, and he been married to his wife for 14 years, right? I think he been in the league for about that long too, right? 14, 15 years, 14, 15, yeah. Okay. Now, it's some social media cats talking about Ayesha Curry is doing these interviews, and she's talking about the success of Steph Curry, and she wishes that she was, you know, as famous as Steph, and this guy was pointing all these little small bits out that she was saying when she was going to these podcasts. And I seen a couple, you know, highlights of them. I never watched all of them, but I just seen a couple highlights of, you know, some of her podcast interviews. And to me, she was kind of praising Steph Curry, you know. And then in one interview, I heard her say that she didn't think Steph Curry was going to be as famous and as great. Nobody did. Only me. When I seen him at Davidson, I was like, this boy finna be one of the baddest dudes in there, because he could shoot the ball so pure. I never seen nobody shoot the ball like that. And I couldn't understand why she didn't know he could shoot the ball. I know she went to his games and stuff. I know she seen him. But once I seen him at Davidson, when he beat Duke and had 30, and Duke had them stars on the team, and he dropped them boys a 30 burger, and he won and advanced to the Elite Eight. I say, man, that was crazy. That was good. You know, they eventually lost, but yeah, they saying that the guy was saying on TikTok, social media, that she's starving to cheat on Steph Curry and blah blah blah. She turning into Glorilla, or she wants to be Glorilla and get the attention that Steph Curry. Man, I'm saying this to this dude. No, I'm saying this to say that to this dude. You're not married, and she's just glorifying Steph Curry. We all know that because you're not going to get a better man than Steph Curry. The dude is, I'm not saying he's perfect, but I'm going to just tell you like this. The boy is on his way to be a billionaire. The boy got his own brand. The boy made her who she is. If she was to branch off by herself, she still wouldn't make as much money as Steph Curry. Not even a quarter of it. Not even a tenth of it, I don't think. Because, come on. What you gonna do? Be an actor? You could do that right now. You know, and this dude just is glorifying the things she's saying, twisting it around. He's not married. You know, so you can't listen to married people and stop going after people that's famous. And you black too. Steph Curry black too. It's always somebody trying to get famous and noticed off other people that's famous and noticed. That's called a bottom feeder, man. Look, if I talk about somebody famous, I'm going to talk about them in a positive way. I'm going to talk about them in a positive way. Or how I feel, you know, or what's going on with them. I'm going to speak on what's going on with them. And I'm going to share my opinion. But I'm not finna come after their family, you know, they wife, they husband. That's bottom line. No, come at me. He should have started off like, Steph, man, you listening to your girl? I'm listening to the podcast, and she's saying this. She said, but he's going in saying, no. Steph Curry wife wanna cheat on him, and she wanna be noticed by other men, and blah 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 blah. Dude, stop it. And you a TikTok star, man. You probably ain't even getting paid on TikTok, or even if you is, it ain't even 0.00001% of what Curry can make just off posting about your name. He can get millions of views just by saying something about you. Come on, man. Stop the madness, man. And let these people keep rising, man. Rise. Maya Angelou. Let these people keep rising. Keep rising. Because that's my boy, man. And I want him to keep rising because you never know. He might can run for president or something one day, man, and make it all gravy for most of us that want to stay gravy. But see, this dude, he just wrote his ticket. Curry meet him like, man, get out of here. You can't have an autograph. You can't even talk to me. I don't even want you in the vicinity. You know? So people be burning their bridges before they even know where the bridge is at. They don't even got the navigation. They just want to, you can't even get there now. You feel me? And I don't know which team this dude like. Obviously, he don't like the Golden State Warriors. You know, so this dude is so disrespectful. And I'm glad Killer Mike called Steph Curry and told him, man, I wasn't saying that to say that. He was just kind of pointing out how this dude was trying to talk about, you know, Aisha Curry and how she feel locked up and having the babies or whatever. Hey, man, she ain't there by herself taking care of them babies. They got nannies over there. They got nannies, man. Get out of here. They got nannies, pal. Come on. Hey, I'm Mr. Moore, man. At the table in SFC, man. Like, subscribe, comment, man. And I'll see you next show, baby.